taking these samples of survey, only to realize that each one of these viruses started from one virus and is constantly doing nothing more than what I initially told them from the start, that it would be a mutator. I told them it was going to mutate. I told them that in 2019. I told them that in 2018. I told them that they would be dealing with something that was known as NBC, nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare. I told them that the first signs of it would be pinpointed pupils, tightness in chest, difficulty breathing, sweating, excessive sweating. If they were a dark-skinned person, you would be able to see them because they would begin to turn purple. I told them if there was a light-skinned person, you would be able to recognize them because they would turn a real dark gray. I told them that it was going to be one, and what they would heat up so hot that they themselves would need you to take nothing more than a cloth, ready to lay it on their forehead to try to cool them down. But no one wanted to listen, and they still don't want to listen because they want to be the initial one to have brought the message to the people, not realizing I'm bringing the message to them in a manner that is going to get worse. And the only way that it will not get worse is if they listen to the voice which is bringing it to them initially. Doctors are now suggesting that the people should have waited longer between the doses of Pfizer and Moderna. Who cares? Neither one of them is going to work. They're going to still find themselves bumping and running into each other because those would-be viruses that everyone is talking about are going to mutate into a form where they themselves will become those enemies against Pfizer and Moderna. And they will build their forces much stronger than Pfizer and Moderna could ever be built. Because Pfizer and Moderna is man-made. And these viruses are mutating, those things that they're mutating into are not man-made. You better believe it. They have come from the one who is still trying to get man's attention. And if man don't bring his attention to my Father of the universe, he will be eliminated off this planet. And I once told the whole world, and I know that I put this out in many a meeting, many a discussion, many symposium, many would-be small gatherings that I've done. I've often reminded the people that don't you fool yourself. If you think that my Father has given you a promise where he told you he would not destroy mankind, don't you think my Father is a person that does not have a mind and that he's ignorant? Because he will definitely allow man to destroy himself. Meantime, you think on it. Well, I do us all a favor and take a short break.
Thank you, sir. And yes, family, as has been written, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word has become flesh and dwells among us. The very word that came from the Father you have just heard through the Word that has become flesh. That is the only word that you're going to be given to restore yourself, to deliver yourself, because the only way to the Father is through the door of the Son. So if you ignore that voice, just what he said, you'll be able to destroy yourself. Because every knee must bow and every tongue must confess that there is only one true God of the universe, and that his Son has the authority given him by his Father. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. And if you're looking for any other way, any other window to crawl through, any other door to come through, even break open the roof and think you can sneak in from the top or come in from the basement and find another way into our Father's kingdom, it's not going to happen. You have one way and one way only. If you do not come through that door, you will no longer exist. Because Father Yah's word is truth. With that, I will yield back to you, sir.
It has already been said by my Father, and I know you said that every knee must bow. It is the fact that every knee will bow. They don't get a choice. I am not here for myself. I am here because my Father sent me. And I can assure them that every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. Believe it or not, this is one of the reasons that America, to this point, has avoided talking to me directly. Because I gave them strict warning back in 2002, even though the Universal Court, known as the International Court, agreed with me by way of the 15 judges, 14 of them agreed with me, and as of January the 10th, 2002, they made a law that America had to comply with the laws in which had been written and which we had stated in our documents. But I told them that America was not going to adhere to what they were being told that they had to do according to the laws of the land. I told them, even though they explained it and expressed it to America, that these are the supreme laws of the land, I told them that America was going to reject. I told them that America was going to find themselves in a position where they are going to become an example for the whole world as a nation destroyed based upon ignorance and arrogance. I told them that America they're going to even go to the extent, and I'm going to help them out now with their predictions so they can understand these are not predictions, these are truth. America's going to try to find a way to attack me by way of the so-called feminine force, and I'm telling them, hurry up and get here. I can't wait, because I'm going to destroy America and their feminine force. That's a fact. But now the parable is this. The seed is the word of God. Those by the wayside are the ones who hear. Then the devil comes and takes away the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be saved. But the ones on the rock are those who, when they hear, receive the word with joy. And these have no root, who believe for a while, and in times of temptation, they fall away. Now the ones that fell among thorns, and those who, when they have heard, they go out and are choked with nothing more than cares and riches and pleasures of life, and they bring no fruit to maturity. But the ones that fell on the ground, the good ground, are those who, having heard the word with a noble and good heart, and they keep it, and they bear fruit with patience. No one, when he has lifted a lamp, covers it with a vessel or puts it under a bed, but sets it on a lampstand, that those who enter may see the light. For nothing is secret that will not be revealed, and anything hidden that will not be known and come to light. Therefore, take heed how you hear. For whoever has, to him more will be given. And whoever does not have, even what he seems to have, will be taken from him. These are not my words, but I can interpret it for you, if you want me to. But I think, why not interpret? Because you'll be crying again. Weeping, as you said, will only endure for a night. You say joy cometh in the morning. Like, I have news for you. Your weeping can endure forever. Being that you are not of the light, being that you do not know where the light even exists, thereby you will always remain in darkness, and thereby you will always be crying, because it will always be night for you. Stay with me. Fear not, dear one. But these are the things that you ask for. And even as you sit around your pot doing nothing more than mixing your witch's brew, I say to you, be careful. For when you mix it, remember that you're mixing a double portion, and thereby you will fall into it yourself. Stay with me. Too many now are wondering, how do we get out of this? When do we get out of this? I say, blessed are the poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are you who hunger now, for you shall be filled. Blessed are you who weep now, for you shall laugh. Blessed are you when men hate you, and when they do nothing more than exclude you and revile you and cast out your name as evil. For the Son of Man's sake. Remember him. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, for indeed your reward is great in heaven. For it's like the manner and fathers did to the would-be prophets. But woe to you who are rich, for you have received your consolation. You already have your reward. Woe to you who are full, and you who shall hunger. Woe to you who laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. Woe to you when all men speak well of you. So did their fathers to the ones they deem to be false prophets. They spoke well of them. They spoke good of them. But none of them found their rewards on earth. But I say to you, love your enemy. Do good to those who you hate. Bless those who you curse. And pray for those who spitefully use you. To him who spikes you on the cheek, I say, if he spikes you or strikes you on your cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your coat, your jacket. Do not withhold your tunic, but give him your hat. Let him have it. I'm only saying these things because these are not my words, but these words can be found in what you deem to be your holy book. It's in your scriptures. These words was once uttered by one that you deemed to be some 2,000 years ago of an ancient man you called Jesus the Christ. He brought these words to you, but then you did not recognize him. And there were those of you that recognized him. You put him to death by hanging him on a tree. You said, be away from us. For you are the one that deemed to be nothing more than a teacher of those that they classified to be demons. They said he was casting out demons in the name of some God that they didn't know. Love your enemies, I say. But therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful. Judge not, and you shall not be judged. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measures, pressed down, shaken together, running over. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. These are not my words, and I know it sounds to you as if though that I wrote them, but they're not. They are words that came straight from the book you call the Holy Book, but you still find yourself believing that by some chance I have not yet come. You still believe that I am not the one to come. You still believe that if I am the one, then how can I be who I am? And you still not recognize me. You're too busy trying to make me out to be something you want me to be and not what my Father created me to be. But I say to you, warn to you, touch not my anointing and do my prophets no harm. Because if you attack me, my Father is surely going to attack you. Prepare yourself. So you have to understand that the child to the Father can never say to the Father, don't defend me. Because the Father will defend the child, irregardless if the child rejects the Father. And you better assure yourself, my Father will defend me by taking vengeance upon any or anything or anyone that finds the time to believe that they're going to be able to come and harm me. And I say to the United States of America, don't take too long. Hurry up and get here. I can't wait. For all your leaders to me are nothing. I serve no man. I only serve my Father, and he is God. Yah Allah of the universe. And I bow to no man. I only bow to my Father, and he is Yah, he is God. I say to you to set your course once again, where you would try to judge me. I have already told you, judge not that you might not be judged, but I can assure you that I will be the one that my Father allowed me to judge you. And I will do it honestly and truthfully. And not will I ever allow myself to withdraw my hand from that in which you will find yourself being in just reward of. You will receive it. And I assure you that it will be just as it was written. I will make sure that I render it to you in 100 folds, whether it be good or whether it be bad. And I have work to do. I do not have time to sit around watching nothing more than the spectrum that has been placed upon the planet by those that deem themselves to be examples for the whole entire universe, when they themselves cannot even be an example for those that are in need. They cannot be an example for those that are hungry. They cannot be an example for those that are homeless. They cannot be an example. And they are nothing more than criminals that have placed themselves high on a pedestal. And I can say to them that that pedestal, it leans toward nothing more than justice. And that justice have a spike on it, and that spike will pierce the hearts of every wicked man And that old wicked man will find himself cast into hell, for they will not ever be able to escape. This will be the justice of Yahushua, God of the universe. And no man, that's an unjust man, will escape. You know, the United States of America, you've come a long way, 244 years, you would say, in your celebration. But knowing that will be others that will be sitting in your crowd amongst your would-be celebration that will be screaming 260 years. And there will be others that will be sitting there that will be even murmuring those words, where they will be doing it behind the backs of those in whom they're shamed by doing nothing more than destroying their families, drawing the blood from their veins and steady telling them that they were nothing more than slaves. And they will be murmuring the words 1,000 years. But I say to you, your 1,000 years is here, and your reigning is over. Your leadership is over. And that 1,000 years in which you were written about in the book, where it says, after 1,000 years, your reigning will be over, and you will find yourself where you will be nothing more than those that will be under the feet of those in whom you have held in oppression. So many years in which you yourself still do not want to at least be remorseful enough to admit. But meantime, I got work to do. I'll leave you to the battles in which you have right now with those elements of the planet. I will leave you to the battles in which you have with your pandemics. I will leave you to the battles in which you have with your so-called economy and trying to get your so-called would-be monetary system back together. I know you got so many problems right now. And I don't want to be the bad barrier of bad news, but I have to tell you, it's going to get worse. Meantime, when you find the time to call on my Father, I need you to know his name again is Yah, Allah. Remember his name. It's not Jesus the Christ. Yah, Allah. When you decide that you want to call my Father by his real name, you let me know. I will be waiting. Meantime, I looked outside my window. Your wait has been great because you get an opportunity to rest. It's dark outside. Outside my window, there's a candle burning on top of a desk. I see I got a little bit more time. For my Father and I, we have to sit down and go over everything in which your world will be dealing with for the next 2,000 years. Meantime, remember, I want to make sure that I do you all the kindness of mercy that one can be given. I'm still going to make sure that I stay away from numbers. I don't want you to feel that I'm going to try to take away any time and hurry you off the planet. Neither am I going to give you any, I would say, mindset where you're going to have forever to wait. But I will assure you, time waits for no one. My candle's burning. My Father's there, and he won't wait. I got to hurry up and get there. So I say to you, go ahead and get your rest. Don't worry about it. Everything will happen just as it was written, and no man will be able to change it. Get your rest. You're going to need it. Peace and love. And nightfall.
Thank you, Yahoshua. And thank you, family, for joining us. We will be with you again Friday evening at the same time. In the meantime, yes, it's dark across this planet. Take this opportunity to get the rest that you need. Tomorrow is another day, and you're going to need your strength, family. We love you, and we always leave you with John 17:14 through 17. I, Yahoshua, have given them your word, Father Yah, and the world has hated them, because they are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. I do not pray that you should take them out of the world, but that you should keep them from the evil one. They are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. Sanctify them by your truth, Father Yah. Your word is truth. Until next time, family.